As a kid, I loved to draw and what have you. I never have done it much lately, even as an adult. I've been trying to do my best to try and do something. But in 1987, even at the height when we got a game called Pictionary, a game show that kind of knocked off that particular tile, became a pretty decent success. So prepare yourselves as I talk about the game show known as Win, Lose, or Draw today on the Wide World of Game Shows. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews presents Wide World of Game Shows. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Doyle, the Big D to you. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, back again with another episode of Wide World of Game Shows. Today I'm going to be talking about a game that hasn't been seen for a long time, although it had recently got a reboot a few years back. Well, it's a game where you had to try and draw, had to draw a picture for a group of people to try and guess what you're trying to do. You're drawing and what have you. It's a real challenge and what have you, especially when it's a pretty fun show. So here it is. I am going to bring to you in episode number 50 of Wide World of Game Shows, Win, Lose, or Draw. Win, Lose, or Draw was a game show that was originally produced by Buena Vista Television from Disney, along with a couple other companies. And Burt Reynolds was one of the producers, as well as game show host Bert Convy. It originally premiered on NBC and also in syndication in 1987. Now then, the show originally premiered in September of 1987 and was taped at CBS Television City, one of the few non-CBS game shows to tape there, often in studios 31, 33, and 34 at various times. It was co-produced by Bert and Bert Productions, which was headed by Burt Reynolds and Bert Convy, who of course originally hosted the syndicated version, which of course this would be the last game show he did before he passed away. Of If I can remember, I just know it was. Let me see here. Yeah, of a stroke. While they had a different host on NBC. Other co-producers were Klein and Friends for Buena Vista Television, of course a subsidiary of Disney. Funny gal Vicki Lawrence, who of course was on TV, still on TV's Mama's Family at the time, hosted the network television version for its two-season run. Convy hosted the show, the syndicated run, until 1989, and then former Entertainment Tonight host Robb Weller hosted the third and final season. Now, it had different announcers. Bob Hilton, who was the announcer for game shows like Blockbusters, and I believe he was also the announcer for Trivia Trap and other game shows, was the announcer for the NBC run. Dean Goss was a substitute on some occasions. While Gene Wood, who of course was well known for announcing Family Feud, which would return the following year on CBS, and he was already currently doing the rebooted Card Sharks at the time, was the announcer for syndication. Now, of course, the syndicated version had 3 seasons, while the network television version had 2. The syndicated run had 585 episodes produced and aired, while the network television version had 535 episodes. After the network run ended, there would be the first of 2 versions come out on Disney Channel. In 1989, while the syndicated version was still going, we got Teen Win, Lose, or Draw. which ran for 3 seasons. Although, well, one season of reruns, it ran for 2 overall and ended with a total of 65 episodes. The set for the game was modeled after Burt Reynolds' living room. Now, the bi-weekly magazine New York described this as a knockoff of the board game A Pictionary, which would have its own game show, which would come out a decade after Win, Lose, or Draw came out. Now, a pilot was shot in November of '86 at CBS Television City and featured Lonnie Anderson, Bay White, Burt Reynolds himself, and Tony Danza playing the game with Rod Roddy, who of course was already announcing The Price is Right at the time, being the announcer. And well, it garnered the interest of NBC and various local stations nationwide. Thus, 2 separate editions of the program were sold and produced, with production beginning in June of '87. On September 7th of 1987, the show was launched, and Vicki Lawrence hosted the network television edition, which took over the time slot that was recently occupied by Scrabble 3 years prior to its debut. Anyway, the network television run kind of had a real bit of stiff competition as it went up against the second half of CBS's hit The Price is Right, as well as the ABC talk show Home, which expanded to an hour in '89. In the summer of '89, NBC canceled the daytime series after its final episode aired on September 1st. However, former Entertainment Tonight host Robb Weller began hosting the third season of the syndicated series after Convy opted to host a new production for his company known as Third Degree. And its final new episode aired in June of 1990. Reruns continued until the end of August of that year. Reruns went on to USA from New Year's Day of '91 to Christmas Eve of '92, and then again from April 2002 to March of 2004 on Game Show Network. But after that, the show was never seen again. Its teen versions never been seen again since it aired on Disney Channel. However, in 2014, there would be a new version of it called Disney's Win, Lose, or Draw. And well, and it was hosted by Justin Willman, who of course was the creator and star of Netflix's Magic for Humans, and hosted numerous other times. And it featured teenage celebrities and what have you, just like Teen Win, Lose, or Draw, its predecessor. Alright, but now I've gotten that out of the way, let's get to the gameplay. The idea is similar to the gameplay of Pictionary. 2 teams, men versus women. Yeah, it was a battle of the sexes. Each composed of 2 celebrities and 1 contestant, or a celebrity and 2 college students in the college tournament in '88. Took turns guessing a phrase, title, or thing, and one teammate was drawing on a large pad of paper with markers. Each team sat on a couch on a set designed after Reynolds' actual living room at the time. The team member doing the drawing could not speak about the subject in his or her drawing and could not use letters, numbers, or symbols. If one of these illegal clues was used, and any money won in that puzzle was split between 2 teams. However, if a non-drawing team member mentioned a word that was part of the answer, their teammate at the sketch pad was then allowed to write it down. In the first 3 rounds, each team had 1 minute to solve a puzzle, earning 200 for a correct guess. It was 250 in the pilot. At the 30-second mark, a doorbell sounded, or fanfare during the college tournament, and the drawing player had the option of handing the marker off to one of his or her teammates, but the puzzle value would then be cut in half. If the team did not guess within the time limit, the opposing team was given one chance to confer and guess. If they gave the correct answer, they were awarded the money. If not, no money was awarded. By 1989, the first round was later changed to have the drawing contestants sketch a series of clues to a puzzle, one clue at a time. If the team guessed the puzzle from the identified clues, they scored $200. Following round 3, one player for each team was nominated to draw clues in a 90-second speed round. The topics for drawing were simpler for this round compared to those in previous rounds. Each correct guess was worth $100 and the team could only pass twice. The speed round started with the team that was ahead. The team with the most money at the end of the game won, and the contestant of the winning team received $1,000 in addition to the money they had already earned. If both teams were tied at the end of the speed round, each contestant earned $500. By the end of the daytime version's run, the speed round was decreased to 60 seconds and $50 a word. There was a bonus round as the daytime series underwent another significant change towards the end of its run, which was eliminating the $1,000 bonus and instead replacing it with a bonus round, which the series had not seen in either iteration to this point. This change coincided with another change at the same time that involved two contestants and a celebrity on each team. The bonus round was placed similar to the speed round, except that players were allowed to pass multiple times. The first word was worth $50, and each correct answer that followed doubled the bank. Passing resulted in the bank resetting to zero, and the contestant had to start building a new bank. Originally, the bonus was played with as many words as possible within the time limit. Under this format, a team was able to win $25,600 in one round, guessing 10 words without a miss. Afterwards, the scoring format was adjusted. This time, if the winning team correctly identified 7 words within the time limit of 90 seconds, regardless of how many passes that were used, they won $5,000. There was an audience game as well. If there was extra time at the end of the show, an audience member would be called on stage and given the opportunity to sketch a subject for either the men's or women's team to guess in 60 seconds, much like the main rounds, with $100 awarded if the chosen team was able to identify the subject. Now, there were changes in the final season of the syndicated version, as the front game was altered and both the shortened speed round and bonus round were added. The object for the first 2 rounds were the same. However, the drawing team was not allowed to switch partners at any point. A guess could not be made until 25 of the 60 seconds had elapsed. And if the team guessed the puzzle before 30 seconds had elapsed, the civilian contestant won $200. If not, the puzzle was played for $100. A successful steal by the opposing team was only worth $50. If the game ended in a tiebreaker was played with the last team to play the speed round going first. The player at the board was given the choice of 2 words and began drawing, trying to convey the word as fast as he or she could. Once the word was guessed, the opposing team had to guess their word in a faster time. Doing so won the game. If not, the first team won the game. At this point, the show began to use returning champions who stayed on for 10 days or until defeated, whichever came first. Yes, I've seen that, but I rarely remember the 3rd season. Of course, the Vicki Lawrence run on NBC and the first couple of seasons of syndication with Bert Convy are the only ones I'm mostly familiar with, so I won't give too much of the other versions. I rarely do remember. I've never seen Team Wins or Lose or Draw, nor the Disney Channel version either. Anyway, after this, Milton Bradley created their own board game of it in 1987. And it could be played just like the TV show or a variation of the game with pawns and a game board. There were Party Junior and Travel Junior editions produced, plus a refill pack for the game. All contestants who appear on the show received a copy of the Party Edition, as did select audience members. There was also computer and video games by High Tech Expressions, which we all know that company kind of made some pretty terrible games like LJN or THQ did. However, their version's okay and what have you. This isn't that bad of a game. There were 2 editions of the DOS version in 1988, as well as a junior version, and then there was a port to the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1989. Now, both versions of this party game feature a scene set in the living room with the game contestants representing real-life players seated on opposite couches, much like the game show itself. And they just had to do what they could, and they had to type in the answer, of course. There was also a plug-and-play console version released in 2005, but unlike earlier computer and console adaptations, this one allowed players to actually draw the subjects using an electronic pen for their teammates to guess. There were also international versions of Win, Lose, or Draw as well. Now, it would be pretty tough to see this, but I am looking at my source. I can see you can find some full episodes of Win, Lose, or Draw here on YouTube. So it seems you can find, I believe you can find both versions of the game. Both network television and syndicated versions. And it looks like you can also find the Disney Channel version as well. I'm not sure about Team Win, Lose, or Draw, but if you can find that, then good luck with that, alright? Anyway, Win, Lose, or Draw, it also went on the road as well during its run. So, anyway, I think Win, Lose, or Draw was a pretty good game, and I really did like it, since I have recalled seeing it as a kid. But anyway, what did you think of Win, Lose, or Draw? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And we will have another video coming up. Now, that was to be my last video, but there will be another video coming up real soon, okay? I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. It's something I was going to review on Saturday, but due to Bob Barker's passing, I had to postpone it. You will get my spoiler-free review of the new Netflix film, You Are So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah. So be on the lookout for that. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, check out these other episodes of the Wide World of Games shows. In the upper left-hand corner, you can check out my last episode of this, and of course that was on What's My Line. Or you can go to the upper right-hand corner and see my episode on the Password series, which includes Super Password, which of course Bert Convy hosted. Or if you would like something different, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my little video I made in memory of Bob Barker, along with my rankings of favorite and least favorite Price is Right pricing games. In the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Wide World of Game shows, then I'm your guy. And Wide World of Game shows will be back possibly in October, as I talk about Secrets of the Crypt Keeper's Haunted House. There won't be any in September, though, but it will be returning in October with the game I just talked about. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So thanks for watching. If you liked it, you know what to do. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.